Hello students, Miss Slyman here, and I'm going to talk to you about piecewise functions first. So a piecewise function, well, let's think about these words. Piece means like different pieces. So it's a function that's in different pieces. And we say it's defined differently for different parts of the domain. So here's a function and it's defined in 3 different parts. So let's look at the domain of this first of all. So my lowest value is -1, and then I'm going through all the x values from there. So the domain of this whole function, oh, that's what I'm asked down here, my domain starts at -1 and includes -1. And then I take all the values between -1 up to 1. I include 1 here, and then I take all the values greater than 1. So starting from -1, I'm going all the way up to infinity. So let's figure out what f of 0 is. F of 0, well, 0 is in between -1 and 1, so I'm going to use this definition. So f of 0 is going to be negative times 0 plus 1, which is 1. F of 1, well, now I want to look where my 1 is being used in the domain, and that's for 2. So that's just going to be equal to 2. And now f of 2, I'm going to look at this function because 2 is greater than 1. So then I'll get 4 because of the 2 squared. All right, so now I want to graph f. Well, it'd be handy to have some graph paper. So let me see if I can do that here actually. Add a page. And then let me see. Well, that's unfortunate. All right, so nonetheless, we had that our f of x was equal to -x plus 1 from -1 less than x less than 1. It's equal to 2, and I only have one equal sign here. So f of x is equal to all of this when x equals 1. And then it was x squared for x greater than 1. Well, -x plus 1 is a line that has a y-intercept of 1. And I know that I have my y-intercept because I go through x equals 0. So we'll go up to 1 here. And I have a negative slope. And I'm going to go 1 each direction from there. But on this side, when I go down 1 over 1, I'm not actually hitting that value. I've got an open circle. Up 1 over 1, that one's included because -1 is part of the domain. So -1 plus 1 is 2, of course. Wow, what just happened? Geez. So I can put in my line. And now when x is actually 1, my y value is 2, so that's a filled in circle there. And now for x greater than 1, I'm going to look like x squared. Well, I know x squared starts here, and then it would go through the point 1, 1, but I'm not because it's not in the domain there. And then I would go through the point 2, 4, so that's going to be all the way up here. And I know it's sort of like my curved parabola looking. And so it'll look that way. So this function is a bit crazy, but that's okay, piecewise function. So there's my graph. And now looking at the graph, I can think about my range. I'm going to come back and look at the picture. Well, my range, I'm hitting all of the y values between 0 up to 2, and then even more so, all of the y values above 1. So every y value is included up from 0, but I'm not including the y value of 0. So my range is going to be from 0 up to infinity, and both of those have parentheses. So that's what a piecewise function is.